Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 5th day of February 2019. Well, 5 numerologically means change. It also represents the pentagram. This is Tuesday, so we're talking Mars energy. So passion, catalytic energy, might be some lack of impulse control today. Mars is cool because you can use Mars's energy to get things done, you know, but sometimes we can get carried away with it, and so sometimes uh, maybe our mouths get carried away, or we get into conflict with people, or maybe we take the bait, or we get our back up, or whatever happens, when a little Mars passion rises within. Sometimes a little hard to control. So Tuesdays has always been a day where if I need to get things done, I'll do it on a Tuesday. I never really understood why I was doing that, and then one day when I was thinking about it, I thought, well, God, I wonder if that's why I do it, because there's just so much energy available on a Tuesday. Mondays are, you're still trying to recover from the weekend, not quite sure if you really even want a beginning to the week. And then so Tuesday is really your first day, of really getting anything done at work. At least that's what it was for me. So when I used to be employed. Well, I forgot to say yesterday that I wrote all weekend long and on the blog, and so I I went ahead and I did the tarot reading for the month and also the geomancy reading for the month. So if you want to check that out over there at the blog Stepping Aside at imsteppingaside.com, you can find it there if you want to take a look at what those two things had to say about this next month. I still look at just influences, so it's not like I'm predicting anything. I don't like to do that. There's all kinds of probabilities that can happen that we can grab onto when we're creating our experiences here. So you just never know. Some wild card could come in and totally, blow everything out of the water that you think is going to happen because, you can't see it necessarily coming. So I just like to look at influences, whether it's with runes or the geomancy symbols or tarot or what have you. I just like to look at influences that can just sort of help guide us during the day or in the case of the monthly readings over the course of the month. And I do 3 cards per week on the tarot one. So that's, a 12 card reading basically. Well, let's draw 13, or let's count 13 and see what we have for today. Well, we're going to draw another one because I got a court card. I got the Page of Cups. So pages are youthful people. They can be princesses and other non-traditional decks. But the page is somebody that's usually a news bearer. So there's always, like new beginnings associated with the page. They're usually, really interesting individuals. They're excited to greet the world, so they're out there learning about everything. And so consequently, when you see a page, it could mean the birth of something new experiences on the horizon. Depending if it's paired with, I forget, with another card, maybe the Empress, I'm not sure. It could indicate the news of maybe a pregnancy or the birth of a child or something. So, but let's see what else it has, what we can have the page interact with. Because court cards really need more cards to interact with than just themselves, I think, anyway. So. Let's see, is that an 8? Yes. I don't have my magnifying glass over here. My husband borrowed it. Not sure where it is. It's so cool. It's got LED lights on the back side of it, so I can see just really great. And I love it for the more, like whenever I look at the Toth Tarot or the Wildwood or any of those that just are very complicated cards to look at. You know, they've got so much going on in them, and you don't want to miss anything. So I like to use a magnifying glass, and a lighted one really helps. So anyhow, we have the Eight of Wands. This is swift action. There's some unity happening, a little bit of balance. You got that one that's hanging back there a little bit. Eight is usually about an even greater awareness of others and beyond the self. And it's also involves leadership skills and things like that. Here you have real directed action, though, don't you? So you're looking at there's an air of confidence, there's an air of assuredness, kind of a move now, move quickly, something's about to happen. It's about protection. Let's see, there was something else. Oh, one of the things, decisions may be made too swiftly. So there's a swiftness to this. There's movement to it. Like everything is happening at once. So something is either attacking all at once, or you're defending all at once, you're reacting all at once. And maybe we're either reacting to this, to maybe a message that's coming through or something new that's on the horizon. Let's do another card, though, to find out what all this swift response is to this message that the page has given us. So it's like, oh no, what did I forget to do? So if something, maybe you might want to just sort of go over in your mind. I mean, it could be something as simple as you forgot to do something. But generally, this is a reaction to something, and it's done in a very unified way, really. Even though that one wand is kind of hanging back a little bit, you've got the force of the others carrying it along. So something has so we've received a message, something has happened, and we're reacting to it, or the message is in response to this, but it doesn't feel like this. It feels more like, well, or it could be that because he's kind of looking toward the past, isn't he? So something has happened and he's sharing it. So let's see, maybe if we can get one more card. Depends on how you want to look at this. Well, here we have the Two of Pentacles. So we've got emotions, will, and basically our physical presence influencing today. So here we're juggling two things. We're juggling maybe work and home life. We're juggling. It would be an example of that. But maybe we're having to juggle a decision that we're having to juggle between two things. We have to make a decision about it. A lot coming in on us. Maybe. Numerologically, the three together, you're looking at one or new beginnings. So if we look at it from that standpoint, then something new is happening. Born maybe of a decision that we've had to make between two issues or something. After maybe a lot coming in on us. It kind of feels like what I have to do. I have to make some decisions about all the dental work I have to do because it's going to be really expensive. Even though I have insurance, it's still going to be really expensive. And so that's a lot coming in on me, and I have to juggle. I have to make a decision about one of the things I want to do. Do I want to do the other stuff first and save that one for last, which is what I think I've decided to do, because I have a lot coming in on me, And so then today when I go to the dentist for my cleaning, I have to deliver that message maybe. So there's something, at least in my personal life, that could definitely apply to this. Something I've been thinking about all weekend long, and I finally made a decision about what I wanted to do. But that could be it. A lot of people have been affected by the shutdown. I hope that they've all been paid. I don't know. I haven't seen any reports that everyone's been paid so far, so I hope that this is not taking time. I hope that they got paid last week, because that was an awful lot. So whether you're still coping with that, trying to get everything resolved, and having to still deal with letting people know, yeah, I've got money now, I can pay you. Um, maybe you're in that same kind of process. For me, it isn't that though. It's I suspect for me it's this whole dental stuff I've been dealing with. So at least that's what I think anyway. Well, I have Rido, which is the 5th rune of the Elder Futhark. This is about rhythmic motion. You can think of it in terms of rider and horse. There's an interaction here with this, not just your own rhythmic motion in life, but something that you're doing in concert with somebody else. So again, you can think horse and rider. But basically, this is our journey. This is the journey we take. That's what this represents. We're going to, have things happen in our lives where we have to make decisions. It's all part of the journey. And then we have to maybe share that decision that we make with someone else. And so the rhythmic motion between me and my dentist today, when I have to say, well, I think I just want to stick with you and wait on the implant, and let you do your stuff. So he'll probably be happy about that. But I have to make sure that that's the right thing, though, medically for me. So anyhow, so I have to have a conversation with him today. Maybe I'll wait till next Tuesday when I go get the other root canal and crown. So I just did one. Fun times. Listen, though, I have to tell you, it's not my first root canal. They're nothing. So if you have to have one, the only frightening part is if you have to pay for any part of it, I think they pay I think I have to pay either my insurance pays 60% or 40%, and at least there's a fee schedule there. It's a federal plan. So there's a fee schedule they go according to, but at the same time, I still have to pay that, or maybe it's 50%. I don't know. It might be 50%. But anyhow, I still have to pay all that, right? So that's the only issue with that, is just when you have to pay for it. It's not the doing of it. The doing of it is simple. It just sounds scary, but it's actually not. So anyhow, if you've never had one and you're terrified of them, don't be. It's not that big of a deal. It's the money. That's the big deal. So anyhow, but Rado, let me look and see if I'm forgetting something. But basically, you're looking at the journey that we take, and the rhythmic way that we interact with others on that journey. Are we doing it in harmony? Are we, it's like if the body starts. I'm in clinical remission from rheumatoid arthritis. Well, rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease. So in that sense, my body was not working in harmony with itself. Instead, my immune system saw everything going on inside it the body itself, as a foreign entity, as an attacker, and so it just decided to kill me. And that's what autoimmune diseases do. They ramp up the inflammation, and pretty soon you have all kinds of problems, right? Well, in any event, that's an example of Rado not working in my body, right? I was not working in concert with myself, and so consequently, everything got out of whack, and I got really, really sick. And then I became a cannabis patient and healed. So there you go. But basically, what Rado does, and I wanted to be sure about this, what I've written down here from someone is transforms creative energies, physical, spiritual enlightenment. Okay. And I wrote them down together because I think that they went together, but they're not. So basically what this is doing with rhythmic motion is as you move, basically you're creating anew, right? So there's the change that they're talking about being the 5th rune. but it's also about blending spirit with form as well, having spirit inform that whole process. So also it's the, no, that's Kenaz. I'm sorry. I was going to say it's the rune of openings, but that's Kenaz. This is about right order and true purpose. And it's transformative in that it allows you to work in harmony with others. It allows for this to happen. But it's about justice and right order. It's about spirit informing that process. And if you look at this rune in particular, let's see if I can do this without going backwards on it. But you see this part of Rito, this part here, this part that does this. Okay, that's Lagus. So that's flow. That's the flow part of the rhythmic motion and making progress. But the enlightenment part of it and having spirit inform the process is not just in Lagus, but you can see down there, you see Kenaz? It's this part. Okay. So so this part that does this, that's Kenaz. You see? So there's the enlightenment part of it. In a sense, it reminds me of the chariot, because the chariot is all about knowing when to take control and when to allow. And that's what really Rito is all about. So even progression, maybe that's another one that might be part of this. But let me check here again. It's very similar to Yira, about it moving energy. Fehu is another one where you're moving energy. But basically, it's about travel, whether you're talking actual physical travel or soul travel, astral travel. So then, whatever has happened, okay, that has resulted in a swift response, and maybe a swift collective response from others, or maybe just there's a whole lot of stuff coming in on you, and you need to make a decision. And so we see the Two of Pentacles. It has to do with something foundational in our lives. So it's not anything that's intellectual or emotional or about will or anything like that. It's about the mundane aspect of life. So evidently we've had a lot of stuff come in on us, and something is going to come out of it today. Either we have to communicate something to somebody, or there's going to be a new beginning of sorts, or we're going to learn about something. Maybe a solution is going to come our way. Probably emotionally based, because it's cups. So there could be something that brings up emotions. And I don't know if it's good or bad, really. You know, I think sometimes this isn't about, you know, the judgment of it all, but maybe just the isness of it all. You know what I mean by that? You know, things just are. We attach the judgment to it. We decide, excuse me, whether something's good or bad or indifferent. That's the judgment we place on it. If you don't do that, then things just usually are what they are. And so if you're talking about, you know, Rito and what that has to do with all of that, you know, we're talking about the soul's journey within form. And there are things that are going to come up in life, and we have to make decisions about them. And then maybe we have to let people know, or maybe we come to a new understanding, maybe, about things. I want to double check on the page here. I like her better when she's a princess. I don't know why. You know, here you're talking undeveloped potential, so anything could happen. They're empathic, intuitive, but yet, even though inspiring and all of that and imaginative, they're also very practical. So it could just simply be that this is not anything that is well, it could be truly major, but it has to do with the mundane aspects of life. So I really think that the foundation for the reading is probably found in the Pentacles and a decision that we've had to make. Otherwise, we can read it this way. We can do it this way. We can say that a new message has come to us. It's affected us emotionally to where we have to make a decision. Actually, I think it was this, wasn't it? It was this first. I forget. Which was it? Yeah, this was last. So anyhow, I don't know. Anyhow, so a lot of things are coming in on us, and we have to make a decision. So if you want to look at it that way, I did it the other way, but maybe we can look at it that way too. So we had a message. A lot of stuff's going to come in on us. We have to make a decision. You know, maybe the message, you know, brought up some emotions. Maybe it prompted us to maybe take another look at things. And so maybe we are looking at what's going on in our lives, and we're like, okay, just too much. And so now I'm going to have to make a decision between two of them, maybe, or I just simply have to make a decision about it. And it has to do with I think some measure of allowing. Yeah, I think that resonates a little more, that we had a decision. There's a lot coming, or whether we had a message about something, or we came to a realization about something that was emotional. This may be causing us some concern. And then we thought about it, and it's like, okay, there's a whole lot of stuff I got to think about, a lot of factors involved in this, leading to some kind of a decision to bring us a little bit more in balance. I mean, I hate when it's like all of this stuff is coming in on me and I got to make a decision now. What am I going to do? But I really think it has to do with the physical aspects of life. You know, our bills, our finances, our health, our just the general living of life. And then comes Rado, and you know, we're talking about cyclical rhythmic movement. Well, that's in balance, isn't it? Isn't it? If you want it to be, you know, like that, it's got to be in balance. And so whatever decision that we've made has allowed us to then move forward in a way that makes sense. And, you know, we might not like all of it, but at the same time, it's a way forward that makes sense to us. So I think that's the order of things today. I don't think we can look at this just as general influences. So we receive a message, we think about it, there's a lot to think about. We make a decision that allows us to move forward. So that's cool. Yeah, I would say that's the way to go. I don't think it's the other way around. I don't think it's what happened to get to the page. I think the page begins the reading. So cool. That was interesting. Well, okay, that's all I've got for today. I've got to do the lunar transits because I've got to go to that dentist appointment, and so I got to get that done first. Otherwise, I don't think I'll get it done. I don't think there'll be enough time. It moves today toward the like, what is it, like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? I don't know, somewhere in there it moves, and so I have to get that done because my appointment's at 3, so I don't think that I'm going to have time. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have time to finish it. So I got to do that now. So check that out when it comes out, and check out the tarot reading for the month as well as the geomancy reading for the month. They're kind of cool. So I'm really into geomancy. I just think that is just the most interesting divination method. I've been working with it now for several years, and I know a little bit more than I did when I started, but not much. But I think it just gives some really interesting ideas to think about. So anyhow, I like doing it. And anyhow, oh, and the other thing, I worked a little bit on the book yesterday, the one that I have two of them going, and the novel I've set on the shelf for a bit, but the other one I'm finishing up. So I'm hoping I'm going to publish that here before too much longer. So I just want to make sure that I have everything in there I want. So anyhow. Um, so I guess that's it. Thanks so much for coming by. If it's your first time, thanks a lot for showing up here. I appreciate it. And click subscribe if you. I'd love you to do that. And if you've come back, if you come back, that's awesome. I'm so pleased. Let's see. I was going to tell you guys one more thing, and I can't remember what it was. So, oh well, lots of snow today. Well, it's not a lot. I mean, there's about this much snow out there, but you know, it's not going anywhere, and it's really pretty out there right now. But anyway, at least I don't have to plow the driveway to get out today, so that's good. Anyhow, again, thank you for coming by. I'll be back tomorrow. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.